The Uroplatus genus Madagascan leaf-tailed geckos are a group of animals I have had the pleasure and privilege of keeping for the last 6 years. I'm proud to share that I have successfully bred several members of this genus, some in large numbers. These geckos are listed under CITES Appendix 2, making captive breeding efforts and contributions that much more important. Many of you have been following my channel for some time, and you know that I have moved across the country with my animals twice in the last 2 or so years. Out west in 2018 and back to Ontario November 2019. In that time, I have had very little success breeding my satanic leaf-tailed geckos. These were the only members of the genus I decided to still keep and systematically breed before my initial move out west. Now, after nearly a year of settling in back in Ontario, not moving, and dealing with switching from bioactive enclosures to sterile ones, I am proud to share that my leaf-tailed geckos appear to be back in the swing of things again. In today's video, my first satanic leaf-tailed gecko of 2021 has hatched, and we are going to take a look at them as well as set up their hatchling enclosure, so don't miss out on today's exciting episode of Reptiliatus. I've been waiting so long to be able to give you this type of news, and here we are. What's up everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Dion and you're watching Reptiliatus. If you're new here, I make videos about specialty pets such as reptiles, amphibians, and different types of cool invertebrates. So if that's something you're interested in learning about every week, definitely consider subscribing down below and then dinging that little notification bell afterwards so you don't miss any of my future uploads, because I post videos every Tuesday and Friday. Well friends, you saw the introduction to this video. I have been keeping and breeding Uroplatus phantasticus, the satanic leaf-tailed gecko. They're really true to my heart. I really cherish them and love them to death. It's a beautiful genus and an incredible species within that genus, and I'm always honored to be able to share my experience keeping these animals with you all. I do want to give a quick disclaimer that unfortunately I am not interested in selling any of my satanic leaf-tailed geckos. I really appreciate everyone's interest. However, I just don't want there to be any confusion. They will not be for sale. The only exception is that if you are Canadian and you also produce these animals, I would consider trades for different bloodlines. That's about it for now. In the future, if I somehow end up in a position where I have a lot of them, then perhaps I can entertain that idea. But for now, I'm hoarding everything. They're all mine, all of them. All of them are mine. But alas, I digress, as usual, because that should really be my middle name. Today we are going to be taking a look at the very first satanic leaf-tailed gecko that is hatched here in the Reptiliatus reptile room in over a year. That's right, the last time I hatched one of these animals was actually back in Vancouver in, I believe, February 2019. So I lied, it's actually been 2 years, my bad. Clearly, I need to learn my math. But we're gonna go ahead, take a look at them now, set them up in the containers that I kind of modified for raising Uroplatus phantasticus, and then we'll be on our way. We're gonna let them settle in, finish up their first shed, and we'll feed them in another video. Okay guys, here we are, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not expecting these animals to hatch this soon. I thought that we'd be seeing the first hatchling in maybe another month or so, but nope, this little guy decided to hatch yesterday. So that little pipsqueak in the corner is the first satanic leaf-tailed gecko of the year that I have produced. So you can see that he has some stuck shed. I'm going to let them try to remove that on their own for a day, and if it doesn't come off, I'll take it off myself manually. And yes, it is as tedious as you could imagine because they're that small, but I've done it a billion times, so I'll do whatever needs to be done. But there they are. And they came out of this little egg down here. It's hard to believe, but yeah, they're looking amazing. Now, if you recall, this was a single egg, so I found 2 eggs in 2 bins laid on paper towel. And then later on we found an actual clutch from one single female. So this one and this one are from two separate females. They were found at the same time, so that means this egg could be hatching very soon as well, but then this one's about a month later. So we have 3 separate bloodlines here, essentially. Hi, baby. All right, let's make them their home and then get them situated. Let me grab my phone here. I'd like to take the time to thank our 2 newest channel patrons over on the Patreon platform. We have William and Ian. Guys, thank you so much for choosing to support Reptiliatus channel further through monthly contributions. Your support means the world to me, and really it helps the channel achieve everything you see happening here so much. If you guys are interested in learning more about that, you can check out the link down below to my Patreon page. Otherwise, I just want to say thanks so much to my patrons. Really appreciate all of you, and thanks so much to my 2 newest patrons for joining the platform. Okay friends, so I've definitely shown you this in past videos. I'll post a link up above, but essentially this is how I raised my baby phantasticus. I modified these Betty Crocker containers from the dollar store. I drilled some holes for cross ventilation because I always found that the bottom could get a bit stagnant. This helps prevent any mold growth. And so all we're going to do is make sure that the top is cut out, glue in some mosquito screen mesh, and the bottom here will line with some dried sphagnum moss that will be moistened, not overly moistened, but relatively moistened. So we'll take that, put it in the bottom, just like that, and then when that is all in, we are going to gently spritz it with some RO water, not too much. Now, I'm just gonna pat it down. And the reason I do this is just to make it a bit more compact, so that if there are pinhead crickets or fruit flies running around on this, it's easier for the gecko to grab them without ingesting any of the moss. I'm not saying that what I'm doing here makes a huge difference, just my way of thinking. So it's a bit packed down, you see that? Perfect. Now what we can do is add some fake foliage. So I like to first use a few sticks, like so. Generally I'll kind of just crisscross them in the enclosure. And then I'll place some fake foliage like so throughout. It's really quite simple, nothing too extravagant, honestly. And this is the extent of it. It just gives the animal a place to hide, a sense of security, to climb around on, and move through the enclosure. So that really should do the trick. Now from here, we can add the gecko into its new home. For today's question of the day, I'd like to ask you all, out of all the pets you've kept in your life, which one do you currently have for the longest? For me, it's gonna be between Jabba and Leela, because I've actually had them the longest for my existing pet family. Actually, it's been about 9 years now. I'm curious to know, what is the pet that you have owned the longest in your pet family? Let me know in the comment section down below, and as always, I'll give your comment a heart, and we can engage in a little bit of a conversation. Awesome. Alright, little buddy, let's get you in your new home. Only going to coax them up. Ah, they're so small. Those little big feet. They're little big feet, literally. Okay, we'll gently move these eggs. Okay. Here we go. Go ahead. Go for it. This is your new home, and then you can have some fruit flies for dinner. Perfect. So tomorrow morning, there's still shed on the feet and the head. I will manually remove it myself, but there they are. beautiful little satanic leaf-tailed gecko. How wonderful! So little baby is just active, completely shed, which is a great sign. To me, this tells us that the whoa! Ninja baby. Usually when they shed themselves, it's just a great sign that they're in very good health, not having any challenges. So we're gonna stop flashing you with bright light now, and we're gonna let you do your thing. I did put a few fruit flies in here. I have had fans go for food right away. Normally I just wait a few days. But check out the ventral pattern on this animal. Unbelievable. They look awesome. Enjoy your first night out of the egg. Well friends, there you have it. I sincerely hope you enjoyed watching today's video. To be honest, I had something totally different in mind for today, but that baby hatched last night and I was just way too excited to wait to share this with you. So here we are. Funny enough, I guess you're just gonna have to wait till Tuesday next week for our next video. It's going to also be about some other animals that just hatched the other day, so you can do some guessing in the comments down below if you want. I'm not gonna tell you though. You'll have to wait till then to see it on Tuesday. Alright friends, without further ado, hope you have a wonderful weekend, and if you want to see more videos pertaining to Uroplatus phantasticus, the satanic leaf-tailed geckos, check out the playlist up above. See you guys next week. Take care.